from a growth standpoint. The second part, and this is for if you're not Muslim, I just want to give you a concept that we have in Islam, that this is what fuels me every single day. This is what I lose sleep on. It's an obsession that I have. I can't find any type of serenity until I found what my Kitab level goal was. And I'll explain what Kitab means. Kitab just means book in Arabic, but this is a book that we've all been promised. We are going to read in front of God on that day. There's just one meeting that is guaranteed for us, that God says that all human beings will come to him alone on that day. And when we come to him alone on that day, he's going to ask us one question: Iqra kitabak, read your book. And that book is something that we now spend our entire lives not thinking about what's actually going to be written in that book, because the only step that we have in our minds is, what's the next rung in the ladder that I need to climb? What is the next title that I need to achieve? What is the next degree that I need to get? What is the next certificate that I need to achieve? What is this next compensation model that I need to break into? But when we think so far in advance to that one meeting, when we'll stand there and we'll be asked to read this book that is filled with every single action that we've done, we don't even know what the goal is, where we can stand before God and say to him, of all of the things that I've done in my life, this is what I want you to accept from me. Of all of the good and all of the bad, of everything that is written in this book, if you can spend your entire life in service of one thing that keeps you extremely focused, where you can sit there and say to God, there's nothing else that I've done except this that I seek your acceptance from, that becomes your Kitab level goal. And that goal becomes the North Star that you spend your entire life chasing, being in service of, which then means you're also putting things, you're rejecting other things, right? Like, if you're in service of this, then this is the legacy that you're seeking to leave behind. And that means you're making decisions for your own growth to say, are you really going to meet God that day and say, hey, I was a CEO of this company. This was my ARR number, right? My annual recurring revenue. I was a teacher. I taught thousands of students. But those are all titles and professions. The question that we have to ask ourselves, what's the impact of that time that we had, that we can then say comfortably, this is what I put everything into, and the impact of it was this. I ask that you can accept that from me. And that's the legacy that you now spend the rest of your life trying to bring to fulfillment, right? Bring to fruition. And so that's what we have to constantly, when you put that Kitab level goal in your mind, you are fixated on achieving that. And there will be things that come into your life that you can then make the determination on, does it get me closer to my goal, my Kitab goal, or does it push me further away? And this is where you then have to come up with your own assessment of what success looks like. What does success look like when you achieve the different steps in this goal? Because it's not going to be something you achieve tomorrow. If it is, then it's not an actual Kitab level goal, right? So you're going to put this vision in front of you, and you're going to work backwards from that. And you're going to say, in order for me to be able to achieve this in a meaningful amount of time, what are the steps and actions that I have to start doing today in order to ensure that I reach, at least that my intention is to achieve this, and that's what I'm working my life towards. And you have to now start to determine the success of that. The same way that you take your job seriously, this is the ultimate meeting with the most important, this is the most important meeting that you're going to have. And so if you're not visualizing what you're going to say in that meeting, if you're not going to visualize how that meeting is going to go, what you're going to present, how you're going to present it, and you're not thinking about it day in and day out, then it means you're missing out on what the ultimate goal of everything is that you're trying to achieve. And so this is something that will help you ensure that your growth path is connected to something that ultimately is the culmination of your entire life. Everything that you've lived to do is that.